Welcome to Riverwell Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. We love to cook. And we love to eat. We love to garden. We live a sustainable life. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us.
Welcome back to Riverwell Holler Kitchen. And today we're going to be doing another cookie for your cookie list for your Christmas goodie bags. And these are really good, for one thing. They're easy, there's not very many ingredients, and they're not too sweet. But to me, they're just right. So this is another great one for y'all to try to put with your other goodies on your table or to send to somebody for Christmas. So let's get started because this is not going to take very long. Our ingredients for our Melting Moments butter cookies. You're going to pretty much have everything you need for these cookies. You need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You need 1/2 cup of cornstarch. You need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're going to need some vanilla, a cup of butter, unsalted. If you only have salted, that's fine. Use that. And we've got 1/4 cup of powdered sugar here. Now your 1/4 cup or your 1/2 cup of cornstarch, that's what's going to make these cookies and why they're called Melting Moments. That cornstarch mixed in with the other ingredients is what's going to make them just melt in your mouth. Okay, the first thing we're going to do for our Melting Moments butter cookies, we're going to put our 1.5 cups of flour and 1/2 cup of cornstarch and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to mix that up. And we're just going to set this to the side. Now we're going to take our 2 sticks of butter. And I'm just going to kind of mix that up just a little bit. And I hope that's not too loud for you. Okay, we mixed up our butter. And we need our 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to mix that up until it's light and fluffy. I've not gotten used to this mixture, and you turn it on, and if you're not careful, you go to high speed right off the bat. And I had to back it up a little bit. Back up, Lori. So I am going to crank it up just a little bit because I want this mixture to get good and fluffy. And I'm just going to kind of scrape that down a little bit. Now these are going to be one of them cookies that's going to go in the refrigerator after we get them mixed up and get them prepared. They will go into the refrigerator for several hours. If you want, or just an hour if that's all you got. I've got about an hour. But you can go up to even overnight if you want to. Leave them in the refrigerator overnight and cook them in the morning. Okay. We're going to add in the teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to mix this up just a little. Now, I have never doubled this recipe, but I'm thinking that it would probably double pretty well and work good. So we got our butter and our powdered sugar, which was 1/4 of a cup, and our vanilla. We got that mixed up. Now we're going to add in our flour. This is our flour, our cornstarch, and our salt. Now we're going to mix this up. See if I can do it without making a mess. Really well. Now I had to scrape the bowl real good for it to all to come together. So as it's mixing, just get you a good scraper and scrape down the sides, and it'll all come together in a ball just like that. What I'm going to do is, you can cut it in half or cut it in threes. I think I'm going to cut it in threes, just like that. One of them may be bigger than the other, but in fact, I think I can get it in fours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each piece and I'm going to get me some plastic wrap, and I'm going to wrap each piece, and then we're going to roll them into a log. Seen how I cut them in fours, and they're not all the same length, of course, because Miss Lori's not good at that stuff, but you can see how they're in plastic wrap, and I just rolled them in logs just like that. You can roll them, or you can just kind of squeeze them down into a log, and then just kind of twist your ends, and we're going to put these in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then we'll come back and we'll cut them up, and we'll bake us some melting moment butter cookies. Our cookies have been in the refrigerator for a good hour, and we took them out, and now what I'm going to do is just cut them in about 1/2-inch slices, kind of cut off the end there. You can do it diagonally, you can do it just straight across. It really doesn't matter. But these are little bite-sized cookies. That's why they call them melting moments, because it's just a little bite size that you'll put in your mouth, and it just kind of melts in your mouth. And you're going to put them on your cookie sheet. Now I've got what this is 1/2 a sheet of a commercial size cookie sheet. So I'm able to get all of mine on here at one time. And if they're not all exactly the same size, it's okay. They're all going to taste good. Now these cookies aren't real sweet. They are your shortbread cookies with a lot of butter in them. But once we get them out, we will be sprinkling or rolling them in a little bit of powdered sugar. So if you're like me and you taste the cookie dough, you're thinking, well, that's not really sweet enough. But it is. They're going to be delicious. So I'm going to put these back. Now they got to have one more chill. They've been in the refrigerator for 1 hour. We cut them. Now I'm going to stick them back in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Then they're going to come out of the refrigerator and go straight in the oven. 350 oven, 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, we are bringing them out of the oven. It took about 10 minutes in my oven. And you can see you can see how they're just starting to turn brown on the bottom. But you don't want to cook them so long that the top really starts turning, because then you cooked them too long. Whew, they're hot. So I'm going to get these. I'm going to let them cool down just a little bit. And then I'm going to roll them in some confectioner sugar and put them up here on my rack. And then we'll plate some up, and then we'll taste them. But they done real good. They cooked up real good. And you can see. Okay, our cookies have cooled just a little bit. They're just still a little bit warm, but I'm just going to take them and I'm going to roll them in this powdered sugar. And I'm just going to set them up here on my cooling rack. They're light. They're a real light cookie. And like I said, they're just one bite, and some of them might be 2 bites. I don't know if we'll get Mr. Brown in here to taste one or not. I'm going to taste one of these little ones that I got kind of little after I rolled it in this powdered sugar. Sorry, y'all. That is like the best shortbread cookie. But it's just like in little bites. It's a really neat thing to have if you want to send somebody some, put it in their little care package. You can put these in the freezer and bring them out another time. But these are really, really good cookies. Melting Moments butter cookies. So I'm going to finish rolling these in the powdered sugar. And really and truly, they're warm enough to put on a plate and wouldn't stick together. So I'm going to find me a pretty plate to put some of them on.
So, Ma, you want me to taste these cookies, right?
Yeah. They're Melting Moment butter cookies. They're
Bite size.
bite size. Kind of mine, you know, kind of like a shortbread, but it's real buttery. But it's not too sweet. You know?
That's real buttery.
You know how shortbread's just not a real sweet cookie.
You know how good that would be with coffee?
Yeah, it would be. You can have it with your coffee in the morning.
Man, that's good because I love old-fashioned shortbread, so it's really good.
Be kind of hard to dip them little things in your coffee, you reckon?
I don't know if you dip them, they're pretty soft, but
No, you wouldn't have to dip them, that's for sure.
they're really soft and really tasty and really good, and I will be having some for breakfast with my coffee in the morning.
Okay, so
Right now I'm full on them easy dumplings you just made. That were really good.
that's a whole nother video. Tell everybody bye.
Bye, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we're liable to see you before the New Year, I guess. I guess we'll see you again before Christmas, won't we?
Well, Christmas is almost here. We will see him before the New Year, that's for sure. Melting Moments butter cookies. Y'all gotta try them.